Hello friends, welcome again. Another week, another Monday, another gap up today in markets, and another decent day in markets. Not a bad day, to be honest. And our portfolio did fantastic, right? So it's been just going up and up. So our portfolio was up around 2.86% today, right? And I think the portfolio did quite decent, and primarily led by Craftsman, Nonaris, and LXCHEM. So LXCHEM has been going sideways, and in spite of the news of the anti-dumping duty, I think there was a lot of posts on social media, but I think it all just is a news, right? So you didn't the stock didn't really hit an upper and that's what I say. A news is a news. It doesn't matter really. You have to always follow your charts. And even Craftsman has given some decent numbers, but I still think you shouldn't be really worried about results. If the stock is going up, the results are probably going to be good. Even if they're bad, probably the markets are going to take it as good. And if there's a small dip, and unless your stop loss doesn't hit, you should not be really worried about the results. Probably take a look at it just to satisfy your ego or to satisfy your worries. But otherwise, I think results do not really matter. We never know how the markets can take a result. It all depends on the markets, right? But otherwise, hello, and yeah, welcome to another session. And I hope you read the newsletter last Sunday. And if you haven't received it yet, it should be in your promotions folder. So to go back and check in your promotions folder if you haven't received it. The open rate has been quite low, so probably you need to go and check if you haven't checked the newsletter yet. But otherwise, let's directly jump into our Nifty Outlook, and let's see what Nifty did today, and also let's take a look at what's probably going to happen in Nifty today, right? So you see there are three continuous gap ups, right? We've had 1, 2, and 3. So this is a massive move. I think if you're a position trader, you've been sitting on humongous profits, especially if you've been trading on the hourly time frame, or even on the 15 minutes time frame, or even on the 5 minutes time frame. I think as a position trader, you'd be really sitting in decent profits. Now, in case you want to understand what happens with such kind of moves, then you just need to go back and look at some of the days when markets move like this, right? For example, we had here 1, 2, and 3, right? So the 3 continuous gap up, and then you see what happens is a sideways consolidation, right? Again, here we had 1, 2. This is not a gap up, but yeah, kind of a good move. Again, if you see, even sideways, again sideways, and the correction does come at some point, but we never know when a correction will happen. So for now, I'm still bullish. I still feel we kind of had a doji today after 2 good candles, or 2 decent candles, and that doji should at least worry some of you, and you should be probably taking some profits off the table, especially if you're a short-term trader. But if you're a positional trader, just don't worry. But if you're an index trader, probably today was the time to take up some profits off the table, because 3 days of gap up, probably anything can happen tomorrow, right? And no one knows what's going to happen. And if you did refer to the newsletter that I sent out on Sunday, then I did talk about a channel, right? So I did talk about this channel here, and I said that probably we are heading towards 18,600, right? Now, observe this, we're almost close to the top there, and the reason why I said 18,600 to 700 is around that level, which is the top, right? But today we did hit around 18,520 levels, and I see that probably we're going to head there. But if we correct, probably what we might do is we might head towards the middle of the channel, right? And then again probably head higher. But the middle of the channel might probably act as some good support. So I don't see the markets coming below 18,300 at least in the next couple of days or this week. Probably in the next couple of weeks, maybe yes. But if we then come down, we're going to test towards the low end of the channel. But for now, don't worry, everything looks good. And even if the market corrects, your stocks need to correct, right? So your stocks might just not correct, and they might just go sideways instead of doing a strong correction. So always remember, you need to follow your stocks and not the index when it comes to holding your stocks. So we've seen so many stocks, right? When the market corrects, the stock just goes sideways, and it just kind of absorbs the supply, and then it kind of goes higher again. So don't be too biased and don't be too worried. We've been doing this since 3 months now. We are up 28%. There's nothing to worry really. Markets are going to either give you money or take money. That's the only possibility that's going to happen. So don't be too caught up on that rally that we've had 3 days of gap up and all that. Unless you're a personal index trader, you shouldn't be worried. But otherwise, let's look at what happened today. On the hourly charts, if you see, we had a doji this morning, right? We had 2 dojis, and then kind of a first big red candle. So if you see from the gap up, we've had the first big red candle just in the later half of the session. And if you noticed, the European markets, they also did not close that well. For example, DAX, was down around 0.7%, and that's the reason. I think probably I think that probably that's the reason why we also corrected a bit. But we are extended quite a bit, and it's not prudent to go long and carry positional trades, carry swing trades on any of the index stocks, especially because they might correct when the market corrects, right? But otherwise, if you see within this parallel channel, we are also having another parallel channel, and let's quickly point out that. So if we just connect this, probably we're right at the end of the parallel channel, right? So you can do this, or you can even do this, right? Or some people can even do this. So whatever it is, I'm not really bothered, but I'm bothered about this trend line there, right? So markets are close to the trend line, and tomorrow I think if we go below today's low, which is 18,445 or 18,440, then I think probably there's going to be some sideways consolidation or some correction at least. So I don't see markets then crossing 18,500 anytime soon, probably a week or two, and then we might again cross. So the plan for tomorrow is, again, you can try going long, right, above 18,530, but I think the reward right now is favorable on the short side, right? So if you are looking to short markets, then probably tomorrow just look at what happens, look at the first 15 minutes behavior of the candles, and then if you see any big red candles, then probably markets are weak. Then go short with a stop loss at 18,535. You can go even a positional short. It depends on you. And 18,440 is the level that I'll be watching on the downside. Now, if you go below that, then probably markets are going to correct, right? Now, the reason is two. One is, for the first time, we've formed a big red candle on the hourly charts. We are right close to the trend line. And if you see on the hourly charts, we have dojis after dojis and a big red candle. So I kind of see that, markets are kind of going to cool off a little bit at least before we again head higher. But strictly, if we again cross 18,530 odd levels, then you probably want to watch out, and then we might again have one more leg move up towards 18,600, right? But I think tomorrow around 10:30, 10:45 is what I would watch. So we might, probably have a slight move like that, and then probably come down, up, head higher. It's completely up to the markets, but what they do. But yeah, my plan for tomorrow is this trend line I'm going to watch, and 18,450 or 40 levels is the watch, below which I'm going to go short, or above that you can go long. Okay, so that's a simple plain plan. Now, also coming to Bank Nifty, right? So Bank Nifty also had a doji today, and if you see, Bank Nifty has been trending. I'm going to just remove this for now, right? So Bank Nifty has been trending in that channel, and we came towards that close, and then we have kind of had this resistance every time in the middle, and we have kind of opened gap up. So Bank Nifty might continue to remain strong, according to me, because we have crossed that resistance there, and that's also a channel. If you can draw that channel like that, so that's also a channel there, right? So we kind of broken out of the channel, and I see that Bank Nifty might not correct as much as Nifty, and I probably see some strength in Bank Nifty than in Nifty. Okay, and also if you look at the hourly charts, we have some resistance, and the line that I'll be looking forward here is this, so we might go sideways and probably correct towards this trend line there, or probably correct along with Nifty, but not as much as Nifty, I said. So here, if you see, we don't have much gaps like in Nifty, right? So we're kind of covering all the gaps and kind of moving high. So even if we correct here in terms of Bank Nifty, we might correct towards 39,378 and then probably go sideways, do a time correction, then head higher. Okay, but this any movement towards this trend line for me is bullish, and I see Bank Nifty probably has more legs, and we're probably heading towards 41,000 levels, which is the channel top, and then probably we see some correction. Okay, so that's my view on Bank Nifty. And by the way, tomorrow is not holiday. In case you're thinking that tomorrow is holiday, tomorrow is not really a holiday. Okay, now let's look at our stocks, right? So how's our portfolio been doing? So we've been trading this since 3 months and 1 week now, and I think our portfolio has done a decent job. Most of our stocks are up 40%, 60%, and Craftsman has joined the party, 25%, and today even another has joined the party. So around 7.5%, right? So if you give it time, if you have the right selection methodology, your stocks are going to perform at some point. So it might be silent for a couple of weeks, but probably it's going to perform. You just need to have some patience. I need to give the stocks its own time, because markets don't go one way up. They kind of, have its own up and downs, right? You just need to ensure that the down is not, greater than what the upside is. Otherwise, I think LXCHEM, everything has been doing excellent. I don't have any worries about this portfolio. Being with a full-time job, you can just chill and focus on your work and try to get more money from your work and deploy here more. So Again, I've been speaking about this symmetrical triangle here, and all I'm expecting is it's getting really tight, right? So unless we did speak about this dojis after dojis, and probably this week if we close above 570, then that's a good green candle, right? So because you see, we should not go below 530, and if we close above 570, that's going to be a good green candle, and that's probably a sign of resumption of this uptrend again in NRS. But otherwise, this has been definitely testing our patience. It's been exactly more than a month. 16 September is when we had the low circuit, and since then I think it's been a month and we're just consolidating, right? Nothing to worry. Still we are having higher lows. The structure is perfect. It's just time for some good moves coming in the coming days. Okay, so the stop loss remains the same. Now Tata LXI is also consolidating there. We might see some probably a couple of days of sideways, but what I've done today is I kind of revised my stop loss to 6,000 level, right? So it is getting very tight here, and I don't want this to give a sudden move and go down. So I'm just kind of keeping this to this swing low. And also if you see today, we have kind of closed around the day's high, right? We kind of had a good close today, and also probably we've had a symmetrical triangle breakout on the 15-minute chart as well. Now you don't have to go to such lower time frames, but just looking at the last 15-20 minutes volumes, I think that Tata LXI can move ahead tomorrow, or probably couple of days consolidation before we head higher. So 6,000 is my stop. So 6,000 means somewhere around that point, right? And so this is a little aggressive, but if you want, you can still keep your stop loss at 5,790, but I'm keeping my stop loss at 6,050. So basically, if we go below 6,050, then we're going to break this trend line, right? And we're going to go down. So then we might go into some consolidation. That's my assumption based on what I'm looking at this chart. Okay, so that's the reasoning. Next is Anurus. Anurus had a decent move today. I was expecting the stock to close above that resistance there. So there is some resistance around 850 levels. If you see that high and that high, we have resistance of 840, 850 levels. I was expecting it to close above 840, but unfortunately did not. So probably some more time before it consolidates. But if you look at the hourly charts, we had some nice consolidation here before this move in the last 1 hour. So I moved my stop to 800 levels. So 809 is the low, and I moved my stop to 800, right? So if you see here, my trailing stop loss is now 800, 6,000, and last Craftsman. Also, I revised my stop loss now. So we basically had a nice consolidation here, again a move up, consolidation, a move up. So I revised my stop loss here also to 2,370. So if you see, I've done my stop loss to 370. So which means I am today locking in 22% returns of the 28% returns I have, right? So 27,900 plus we have another 400. So I'm locking in out of 28%, I'm locking 22% returns, and that gives me comfort. Right now, if you've been with me, you now understand trend following, and we are not trend following on daily time frames because I don't want to give a lot back to the markets, but on the hourly time frame, yes, definitely. And there are a lot of opportunities in this market. You can always find a new stock and move ahead. And if the stock goes up high, probably if it goes up another 100% from here, we don't really care because it doesn't really matter, right? So, and remember, we have a decent allocation to these stocks. We are not having a 5% allocation like how people do. We're having a good 25% allocation to the stock. So 50% move also means that this stock will move our portfolio by 7.5%, right? 100% move would probably move the stock. Sorry, a 50% move would move our stock portfolio by 12.5%, and 100% will move the portfolio by 25%. So that's the kind of returns that we're looking at with such big position sizes. And many people might say it's not proper risk management, but go back and read some books, like William O'Neill books or Mark Miller books. You'll understand that if you take good position sizes around pivot points, then you're going to make some decent money in a short time. So that's the whole concept about how I trade, and that's how I've been teaching you. And overall, if you see, we booked if a stop loss hits today in LXCHEM, we are booking around 12-hour trade. Tata LXI is a 6-hour trade if a stop loss hits as of today, and Craftsman also has 3.7-hour trade. So overall, we are booking more than what we've risked, and I think let's see how it goes in the coming days. Now tomorrow, there is a chance that Craftsman might gap up, and then probably we might consolidate. But if we break out from this level, then probably that's a good breakout. I think we might head higher as well, right? So that could also be the channel. But if you break out tomorrow, then we're going to see some good moves in Craftsman. You should probably tighten your seatbelts. Okay, so a few more stocks that I wanted to discuss. I think Bharti Airtel is kind of I have adjusted my trend line now. So yesterday the trend line was on the linear log scale, but now I've not still taken any position here, but probably today could be the day. It could reverse tomorrow as well. So stop loss continues to be, if you are holding it already, then keep a strict stop loss on 660 and get out before if it goes below 660. Okay, Sun Pharma did not work out really. It did break the trend line today, and I think probably going to see some consolidation here before it breaks. ITC, I think ITC short term, it's kind of had it's kind of coming down. So I think if it goes below 260 levels, then probably some more consolidation before we see a next move up. Okay, I can keep discussing many stocks. I don't want to really do that, but the metal space looks excellent. If you're looking for one of the stocks in the metal space, I think MMTC has done really well today. It did give excellent breakout, and the reason why I am bullish on MMTC is probably we are done with this, and we're probably going to break out above 64. If you break out above 64, then I see some really good targets here. Okay, so that's one of the stocks I want to talk about. But otherwise, I think, if you have any questions, then I can take them up. For now, HEG also has done well. HEG has kind of reversed after retesting that this one. So it's retested and reversed today. And also Goa Carbon has done a retest, and we're kind of moving up. So there are a lot of stocks. Goa Carbon stop loss can be as close as 385. HEG stop loss can be as close as 2330. So these are good setups and these are good trades which can be taken up. So all excellent setups can do well. Even graphite, if you want, you can take a long trade because we've seen some good volume today. So you can take a current, go long now with a stop around 590. Okay, so there are excellent setups available. It's all depends on how you want to trade. So I'll stop here and look forward to your questions. Okay, I'll say a hi to everyone. There are a lot of questions today. Okay, Craftsman, Krishnamani says, yeah, I really don't know how to interpret that. I have not gone through the results. But doubling of EBIT does sound decent. It does sound very good. Hopefully the stock performs today. Hopefully the stock performs tomorrow. Let's see. Okay. Otherwise, yeah. Hello everyone. Sagar also says it was superb. Stormcatcher, Morrison and VTL, right? I was just actually taking a look at Morrison because the pharma space does look good. I think the pharma space might, reverse in a few days. But what I'm looking at Morrison here is probably a channel support, and I feel that probably it's going to correct some more time, and until this downtrend is taken out, I will not buy this stock yet. So right now, as of today, if you're looking, I'll buy this above 60 levels, probably to stop of the swing low where it forms, or I'll wait for a swing to form and then probably buy again. Right now, you see this trend line, right? How beautifully it's acting as resistance. We had multiple resistance right around the trend line. So just give it some time, but the best buy according to me would be if it comes towards 47, which is that bottom again, right? If it comes towards 47, then that's an excellent buy according to me, and then you can actually buy that stock. So just watch out for any strong moves in Morrison in the coming days, and I think it can, if you get around 47, 48 levels, that's the excellent time to enter the stock. Right now, I would not enter. It's in a very short-term downtrend. So VTL has done a retest and probably it's just consolidating around that retest. Again, it's a nice cup and handle breakout here. So both look good, Sagar. Sorry, Stormcatcher. Ganesh is asking me on Kiri Industries. Again, Kiri Industries is consolidating. If you want to really take a trade in this, then probably look out above that, right? So that's probably a cup and handle there. Above 556, 560 is when I would look at it. Okay. Okay. Maruti has a couple of stocks. GM Breweries is looking bearish to me. Short term. Sorry, not GM Breweries. I was looking at something else. Okay, GM Breweries. In fact, the alcohol space kind of looks bearish to me. Reason I'll tell you. I was not looking at GM Breweries, but I was looking at UBL. So UBL kind of seems to have made a top there. And if you see, we had a doji followed by red candle and now a big red candle. So I feel, it's my feeling, it's up to you in case you want to take a trade or not. But I would not probably enter the brewery stocks right now. I'll wait for a consolidation and then enter. But GM Breweries also, if you look at the same setup, it's had a similar kind of last 3 days, it's been red candles. So I'd probably wait for a consolidation, then add. But if you want to add it from investment perspective, go ahead, add now, and then if it dips more, you can add more. Now for the investment perspective, the entire stop loss is 520 levels. Okay. Jubilant Ingrevia, it's been just going sideways. It's struggling still. It's not giving a clean move, but it has broken out. So just look for a follow through breakout tomorrow. It is also a good setup. The stop loss can be as close as 750 levels. Can do well in the coming days. Okay. Tech Mahindra is weak. I've been telling about this the entire. Sorry, Tech Mahindra has again gone up. I didn't watch that today. But yeah, Tech Mahindra looks good now. So probably it's made a bottom. But yeah, again, just be cautious. Around 1545 level, see if it's able to cross that. Then probably you can head higher, right? But yeah, I think even Infi did a good move today. So probably now I'll revise. You can enter right now with a stop around probably 1364 and first look for targets of 1550. If it crosses 1550, then we are going to see a good move, higher as well. So probably this is a short-term correction there, and it was just to probably kick out a lot of people out of the stock. But yeah, the volumes haven't been convincing, so just watch out and see if it heads above 1550, then it will really move higher. You can take a position right now, keep a stop loss around 1360 levels. Okay. Okay, Sagar is asking steel cast. Yeah, steel cast looks excellent, Sagar. So it has kind of given a breakout there and it can head higher. Okay, again, it's a fantastic stock. You can continue to keep holding this. Now, just revise your stop loss to levels of 227, which is this, or 220 levels also. Okay, and I think small cap index, yes, what you're saying is right. We kind of crossed that level. Now all I want to, obviously it's bullish, there's nothing to be bearish here, and it has been going in a one-way move up. Now as a stop loss for the entire small cap index, I'll keep 10,400 levels, and if you go below that, probably small cap index might turn bearish, but for now it looks fantastic. It has probably broken out. Okay, so yeah, both look good. Tomorrow's not a holiday, Ganesh, so okay, Jake is asking on Asian Paints. I think it's still around the trend line, right? So probably some more time, it can consolidate and then head higher maybe, right? So if you want to hold the stock, so there's a nice support on the weekly charts around 2950. So until 2950 is not closed on a weekly basis, for investment purpose, definitely you can add. And next major support level is around 2260. So yeah, until these levels don't break, I don't think it will break so soon. Asian Paints is a strong stock, so you can keep adding or holding. You can hold, you can add even at the right point right now, but then if you add now, then wait for levels of again 2960 and then add more, and the next level should be probably around 2284. But that's just purely from an investment perspective, but don't keep averaging again and again, because sometimes stocks tend to go correct a lot, and if Asian Paints is starting a new bearish trend, then you'll be stuck for many years also. So I'd suggest always add around major weekly supports if you're investing, or major monthly supports is even better. Now if you look here, the major monthly support is 2260, and here you have major support on 1860, right? So these two levels is when I would add if I'm investing, okay, in that stock, and if the company is really good. Okay, Dixon, I think Dixon has been moving well since it was included in FNO. Again, it has given a breakout there. It is going well. I think for the entire position for investment, 3760 is my stop. I'll probably wait for the next consolidation, then add more. Okay, until then, I would not add more. Right, I think on daily time frame it's just been going one way up, so you need to have some patience here and give it some time, let it consolidate, then you can add more. But right now it's just been on one way move up, it's just too extended. Okay, Vinay is asking Maha Seamless. I think it had a good breakout there, and it's just been on a rampage. Yeah, I will not add right now, it's just too risky to add such stocks when they are already moved up so much, right? But the point here is it is giving an excellent breakout there, and the volumes have been brilliant. Now just wait for some consolidation at some point. The stock would consolidate at some point before it again moves higher. So don't go and add right now, it might just be too risky, and the stock can correct 15-20%, also no one knows. But the stock does look excellent, and if you're really feeling FOMO, then add now, keep a stop around 350, but I would not add now. Okay, so that's my view. Tech Mahindra, yes, you can, and Infosys also, yes, you can re-enter, but define a stop loss. Okay. Abhinav, Fortis is testing your patience. Now there will be a lot of stocks which testing your patience. Now this is hardly a month, right? So it's just August, September, October, just 2 months. Now you need to have at least this kind of patience. Now patience do reward, right? Now it just needs to cross this. Probably in a couple of days it might make a bottom. We are close to that trend line there, and I see that the stock can go ahead. Just have some patience, right? It's just not, you're not losing money, right? You're just sitting on decent profits maybe. If it goes above, then you have an opportunity to add, right? Add 280 above and then keep stop loss, and then let it give some good moves. But remember, this has broken out from a nice channel, right? So it's 11-year breakout. So if you give some patience, then it's going to reward you, but you need to give some patience. Have some patience, sorry. Arun, JK Tire looks fantastic. So JK Tire has done a perfect time correction. I'll just show you the charts. So this is a chart of JK Tires, right? So the channel is not perfect, so I'll ignore the channel. But if you notice here, JK Tire is a perfect example of time correction. Every time it goes high, it just does time correction, comes towards trend line, goes high. Here, time price correction, but here you see that's a proper time correction which has happened all the way to the trend line. The setup looks excellent. I think it can head much higher from here. All you need to do is add buy now, right, and keep a stop loss around 145 levels. So 145 is stop, 158, that's just 10% stop loss. It can head higher. The setup looks excellent. Triveni Engineering also looks very good. I think both stocks are looking excellent. It has also given a breakout. Volumes have been fantastic. It's formed a massive cup and a handle. I think again, excellent setup. The stop loss can be as low as 190. That's just a 23-point stop. And it can head higher. Okay, both stocks 10% stop loss. Lincoln Pharma, I think it's just going sideways. Tamil. It's around the channel. It's going sideways, might correct towards the trend line and probably head higher, but there's nothing to worry. It's just a time correction after that quick move up, right? So keep holding on to it. It can do well in the coming days. Venky's had a breakout and it's retesting the breakout zone. So probably it can come towards 2990 or 3000 levels. You can buy more if you want with the stop loss around 2870, and it can again resume its upper journey. Okay. Yeah, so these are my views. You need to figure out, Dinesh, how you're using stop loss, pivot high low. You need to figure out. Now VIP, obviously the stop was too deep, but the stock will consolidate at some point, right? For now the stop is around 485, or you go on the early time frame and you can trail your stop loss. But remember, there's a trade-off always, right? So on the early time frame, the chance of your stop loss hitting is much higher than the stop loss hitting on the daily time frame. So if you want, you can trail your stop loss to early time frame, swing low there, or keep your stop loss here, and then once it does at least a 5 days consolidation, then you can trail your stop loss again. But you need to have some rules. There's always a trade-off. That's the problem that most of the people have. They want to catch this move also, and they don't want to lose this money also here, right? So you cannot do that. You need to fix yourselves on some time frame, and that's how trading is. Okay. Tata Coffee and Tata Hotels. Tata Coffee is just going sideways. I think I did recommend this in this one. It's just going sideways for the last 3 days, but it does look good. The stop loss can be around 210. And Tata Hotels, not sure if there's Tata Hotels. Did you mean Indian Hotels? I'm not sure which is Tata Hotels, to be honest. Yeah, maybe just ping your stock again. I can check. Maruti, I've already answered 2-3 stocks of yours, so I'm not going to touch yours again. I'll come back if I have time. Okay. There are too many questions to answer. Suresh, I've talked about so many stocks, how to set stop loss. Just go and review my videos. Zerodha, Bell, let's look at Bell. Right, so Bell also looks fantastic. It has done a trend line retest there. This is heading higher. I think it's a very good positional trade. You can continue to hold on to this. It can head higher. Okay, good volumes, good move today. Today almost open is equal to low, so that's also a good sign. It can head higher from here. Okay, I think Bell also is in it did give a breakout from there. So yeah, it's in a long-term uptrend. It can do well going forward. Okay, so that's my view on Bell. IGPL, Vijay says I hit a stop loss. I'm not sure. 870. I have no idea why I kept 870 as a stop loss. Maybe you need to check again. I don't think that was the right stop, to be honest, because the stock is still trending. Now, if you did keep your stop loss on early time frame, then yes, right? So if you had kept your stop on early time frame, 890 could have been a probable stop loss. I don't see any reason why 870 was a stop for IGPL, but I think it might reverse after it touches this trend line. Okay, so in case you want to watch tomorrow and then add again, But yeah, do DM me on Twitter in case you want. CCL and HUL. CCL also is going sideways. It is not doing much. I expected a breakout there, but just consolidating some more time probably. Okay, so yeah, see how it reacts tomorrow. But for this, the entire stop loss is around 380. HUL. Let's look at HUL. So I have to type in this Hindustan Unilever. Right, so Hindustan, I did speak about this last week. The entire FMG space does look like the correction is complete. Right now, that was a parallel channel breakout there, right? So if you see, this was a parallel channel breakout. It went all the way high and came retested again. So the stock looks excellent. I think if you're conservative, add about 2700. Once it crosses that high 2700, add more, and then I think the stop loss can be the pivot low as well, right? So if you see, it's kind of coming out of that downtrend as well. Just add about 2700, keep a stop around 2625. I think the stock can do well going forward. In fact, Nestle, Dabur, all these stocks can do well in the coming days. Okay, so if you see, Dabur also is close to that trendline support. I thought that was a breakout, but no, it has kind of again come back. So it's still a good entry probably. In FNO, if you want to take 600 stop, you can take a future trade as well. Okay. Suhas, Goldium. I think Goldium has been one of the excellent stocks. Again, sideways correction. Probably it's going to touch the trend line again, and then we're going to probably have another reversal, right? But if you see that it's a beautiful trend, just hold on to this patiently, with a stop around 650. Yes, everyone, please do like the video. IDFC First Bank, I've been tracking this in fact a couple of days. So it's around the parallel channel, and it is kind of about to break out from there. Today's move was excellent. I just wanted to close above 51.7. Then probably you could have expect the stock to go higher. But you can enter already in the stock. The momentum does seem good with volumes picking up. So keep a stop around 45. And once it crosses above that level, once it closes there, you can add more. And that's probably a flag setup. And I think the stock can do well in the coming days. Tata Steel looks excellent. It has the entire metal space look hot. It also has broken out from this downtrend. Okay, so you can go ahead and if you want, you can add the stop loss. For me, if you're a position trader, probably you can keep it as around 1270 as well, or you can keep as low as even 1230 as well. Okay, but the entire metal space looks good. Reliance Industries is just going sideways. So yeah, last 4 days has been going sideways. Now the problem here in Reliance is if you see that sell-off which is happening on every top, right? So that is looking like a short-term, resistance there, and it might take some more time before it heads higher. But I think this trend line here can act as support, right? Or if you draw this connecting this point as well, right? If you connect that point, and probably you can draw that as well. So probably a couple of days of more consolidation before it heads higher. If you're a position trader, probably a stop loss can be as small as 2640 as well. So if it goes below this trend line, then probably going to see some correction, but I don't think Reliance would go down that fast. So yeah, that's my view. Pyramid, Dwarakesh. Let's look at Dwarakesh. No, right now is not a time to pyramid. You would pyramid only if it crosses this point, right? So it needs to break out above that point. So once it crosses that point, then you pyramid. So keep a GTT, above 78.5, which is this high. 78.5 is okay, and then you trail a stop loss to 73. Okay, so that's how you pyramid. Right now the stock does look good. It has come out of that, with a good volumes there, and today volume was decent. So probably a couple of days it might move, or even tomorrow it can move ahead. But add above 78.5. Okay, I think you mentioned 78.4. Yeah, that is also okay. Avinash Kirloskar shows a cup and handle. Not sure which you're talking about. Kirloskar engines, right? Okay. Yeah, Kirloskar is close to a trend line, right? Trend line support, and is about to break out. Now this is a good setup. It's in fact a very good setup to trade. So you can enter, probably 220, keep an order tomorrow for GDT 220, and you can keep a stop loss as close as 206, or even conservative around 196, right? So so someone who asked how to set stop loss, you set the stop loss to the swing low. But this is not a cup and handle. It is just probably it's going to go like that, right? It's not really a cup and handle, this one. Probably yes, on the early time frame, maybe if you're referring to that as a cup and that is a handle, yes, probably yes. Okay, but this setup looks fantastic. It can head higher from here. You can enter now, Vinash, not a problem. Lauris, I think, is kind of waking up again. But yeah, so I want this to be taken out, right? So this is a head and shoulders, left shoulder, head and a right shoulder, probably a slanting head and shoulder, but that support there is very strong, right? So for the entire position, keep a stop around 480. You can enter now also, and if you want to swing trade, probably 620 also can be a stop loss, and you can expect this to break out and head higher, right? So it looks good. Amararaja batteries. Okay, guys, I think I have a lot of questions. I don't think I can cover everything now. Probably take any strategy questions. Nitin is asking, how do you exit trades? Do you advise GTT to enter and stop loss? Yes, we follow GTT because we have full-time jobs. You have to have GTTs. You can't keep tracking it always, especially when you have big positions like we have in our portfolio. Okay, so do follow GTTs because markets can crack anytime you've been in a meeting. Markets, if a stock falls 20%, then you lose money. So keep GTTs and try to use GTTs. Okay, a few more questions. I think then we're done. Okay, I'm just checking if you have any more strategy questions. Amit, I don't track VIX. I don't track VIX because I trade predominantly in cash trades. It doesn't really affect me. VIX is more for option traders, futures traders, intraday traders, and all. Not for me really. Okay, so I think yeah, we can take up a few more questions. Kumragiri, I think I've already taken a couple of questions from you. Ganesh, I also think I've taken one or two questions from you. We'll come back to your questions maybe. RPG Life broken higher low. Also, please check Jackson Farmers is a good time to play swing trade. RPG Life, let's look at it. I would not say it is broken, but see, it is not closed yet below that, right? So it is not yet broken. So I'd still hold on to this trade and wait for this to perform. If it closes below this, then probably I'll say it's broken. Okay. And what is the next question? It was Jackson. Yes, I think it had upper circuit today, almost close to an upper circuit. But yeah, it's I think I have too many lines there, right? So it is close to breaking out. You can say it has kind of broken out today. Now you can enter right now, probably the stop loss on for 145. Okay. Other questions? Yeah, so Binay has a question. Deepak Fertilizer, Hindustan Copper. I think Hindustan Copper, it's an uptrend now, you know that. But Deepak Fertilizers, let's look at it. Yeah, it has kind of done a trendline retest and is breaking out. So excellent entry. You can enter right now in the stock. It's a beautiful setup. That's what I call a low cheat setup, right? So if you can keep a stop around 408 and enter, it looks excellent. It can head higher. That's a perfect trendline retest. Okay, it's a good stock. I mean, it's a good entry, not a good stock. It is a good stock as well, but yeah, it's a good entry as well. So Hindustan Copper, yeah, there's no doubt. I think it broke out last Friday itself, and today it gave opportunity to add in the morning. But yeah, it looks fantastic. It can head higher now. It can head back to all-time highs maybe. Okay, Rolex Ring, Pratik is asking Rolex Ring. I think it was IPO stock. It's just going sideways. I not really add this until crosses this high. It's forming a nice base. So if it crosses 1110, so 1110, only then I will add this. Then you can keep a stop to whichever low it is, and then it can really give quick returns. But for now, I'll be a little cautious. I not add this right now. Long-term target, I don't know Murugesan. I don't know long-term targets. I'm not really long-term investor. Adani Power, I have short-term. Probably can head. This is not runaway gap; it's just normal gap ups. I think it can head back to 132. 132 is the first target I'd see. Then probably if it goes above that, then 165 is the target that you can see. Okay, Ambuja Cements. I think Ambuja Cements, I spoke about this last Sunday. It has reversed from a trend line. It does look fantastic. That's a red candle there. So yeah, until it doesn't go below 390, I think it does look for a good setup. Now, if you look, this is a channel, and it can probably head towards the upper end of the channel, right? Keep a stop around 390. Okay, DLF. DLF also is looking good. Probably it has done a consolidation breakout today, so it can head higher. Keep a stop around 400 levels, I think it can do well going forward. I think the momentum is strong. It's just gone sideways for some more days, but I think today's move is good. It can head higher from here. Akshay, network 18, you need to give some time for it to consolidate. Only then you can enter. Tata Coffee results, I'm not sure, Ganesh. I've not checked the results. Okay. Okay, Rajesh, I don't do swing trading, so I don't even cover swing trading here. So, but Adani Enterprise does look good. You can take a trade, keep a stop loss, right? Keep a stop loss probably around 1500 if you're looking for swing trades, and it needs to go above again. Probably today's retest maybe, right? So, because if you see here, that's a breakout there, and probably today is retest. Tomorrow, if you get an opportunity, you can add. Keep a stop around 1500 for a swing trade. Okay, PNP does look very good. It have a very good breakout, but if you're going to add now is not the point to add. You should have added already, or you wait for a consolidation then add, because right now the stop loss is too deep, and that too if you're asking, for November futures. If you're taking November future today, it's okay. It's okay. You can keep a stop around 39.5 and look if that stop loss is okay for you, right? I don't know. It's not a good idea to take stock options. It's very risky, very risky, very, very risky. You can lose all the money you have. So don't trade stock options until you're good with this one. Even I lose money even now, but my risk is really controlled. So I don't really, worry, because I've made some decent money and I'm okay with losing little money. But stock options is really risky. Okay, Alchem. I think Alchem is good. It looks good. You can also take an FNO trade here as well. I think today it has made a bottom probably. Keep a stop loss around 3680, which is this low here, and probably it can hit higher again. Okay, probably towards 4050 levels. Okay, so I think I've answered all of your questions. A couple of questions I've not answered. Probably come back tomorrow. But I'd really prefer that you ask 2 questions per person, guys. Please. I take a lot of time in the night, 40-45 minutes. So I really want to keep it to 30 minutes. And if you can ask 2 questions, then it helps everyone. And let's help everyone, with the answers. I'd be happy to answer everyone's questions, because I do feel bad if you don't answer some questions. So don't make me feel guilty. And let's keep it to 2 questions per person. Okay. Otherwise, I'll leave you here. Take care and trade safe. And yeah, I hope you're making money. And don't forget, markets are all heated right now. Do not take big positions, especially if you're a swing trader or short-term trader. Okay, position traders don't have to worry. And I think markets will continue to consolidate or probably head higher as well. Okay, thank you. Good night and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.